Welcome in, everyone. One thing about this Waukesha parade trial is that we all fell in love with the dancing grannies. Some of them we were introduced to them for the first time, and some already were familiar with them, and it just embedded in their heart even further. I've got some clips here today for us to watch of the dancing grannies, and some of these are older. So we're going to see Virginia and Lee in them. Unfortunately, Tamara, she was new to the group, so that parade was her actual first parade. So I don't have any footage of her. But I hope you guys enjoy what I've put together for you.
I'm the little head behind there.
If you ask Sharon Millard how many parades she's danced in since she joined the Milwaukee Dancing Grannies 6 years ago,
every one of them.
She doesn't miss a beat. The organization has brought her joy and unshakable bonds.
We're all sisters. We treat each other like sisters and like family.
But after the horrific events of November 21st,
I knew it wasn't an accident.
There's one parade she wishes she could forget.
Out on my left, I saw the vehicle, and I didn't see Lee. And then I saw Jenny get hit. And I fell apart, really fell apart.
During a routine set to Winter Wonderland, Millard lost 4 close friends, best known to her as Lee, Tammy, Ginny, and Bill, all killed after police say the driver of an SUV intentionally plowed through Waukesha's Christmas parade.
The vehicle kept going, and all I could do was scream, call 911, and then I turned around and saw half our grannies down.
On Saturday, Millard will join current and former members of the Dancing Grannies in Franklin's Christmas parade. The group will only carry a banner of the names of their deceased friends. It may not be until spring when these ladies dance again.
There are not enough dancing grannies left.
But when they do, Millard says 4 souls will be there moving with them.
And every time I dance, I'll think of them. I really will. And I know they will be with us when we dance. They'll be with us in our heart.
Yeah, and Ben and Stephanie, I spoke with the group's president this afternoon. She says when those 76 verdicts came down, all guilty, she says it was a sigh of relief for the whole organization and a long way toward healing for them as well. In fact, they are preparing to mark their first return here to downtown Waukesha since the attack. Jan Kwiatkowski was not in the parade last year, but she's still mourning her friends. She says she watched quite a bit of Brooks's 18-day-long trial. Kwiatkowski says the hardest day was watching Laura Thein testify. Brooks drove right in front of Thein. She told the jury she thought she was in a war. In total, Brooks killed 6 people and hurt dozens of others along the parade route. Kwiatkowski says the Dancing Grannies have performed in 24 parades since the attack, but they haven't been back to Waukesha. That will change for this year's Christmas parade on December 4th.
What I'm hoping is that because we have all those parades ahead of time, is that, that people put on that costume the first time and they'll be able to work through it.
Get the tissue out, you guys, because this one, this is a really good clip.
The crowd is what keeps us going. The spectators keep us going. When I'm going to do a parade, I'm nervous. I'm so nervous and yet excited at the same time. I'm nervous because I know I want to do my best. And then you're sitting there thinking in your head, oh God, I hope I don't fumble. But then when I get started, all of that goes away. And the more they clap for us, the more they scream for us, the more I perform. I was home Sunday. My son texted me and said, Mom, are you okay? And I thought it was strange. And I answered it and said, yes, why? One of my clients, which I thought was really weird, had said to me the same thing. She said, are you all right? And I said, Bonnie, why? I'm okay, fine. Just after, when a client's asking me the same question my son's asking me, I thought something's going on. And he said, Mom, I said, why are you asking me these questions? And he said, Mom, the Dancing Grannies were hit. And I said, what? I said, you sure you got the right parade? Mom, wasn't the Waukesha parade today? Yes. And I said, well, there's a lot of dance groups. And I said, what were they wearing? And then he said, blue skirt and fur. And at that time, then I knew something wasn't right. So I turned on the TV. Of course, the TV didn't have much at the time. It was just a red band, whatever. So I'm texting Ginny, figuring, okay, she's going to tell me what's going on. Texted Lee. She's going to tell me what's going on. I'm just going to go to bed. I'll wake up in the morning, there'll be a message. I got no message. Then I got scared. I called Sharon. And Sharon said, are you sitting down? And I said, yeah. And then she told me, she said, what had happened? And then when she said Ginny was gone, and then when she said Lee was gone, I screamed. I hung up on her. And then I spent the day crying. It was horrible. It was horrible news. And then later on, then I found out about Tammy, and of course, then Will. And that was Tammy's first parade. That was her very first parade that she was in. There were 2 new grannies that were in that parade, Kathy and Tammy. And now she's gone too.
To see everyone with the cards, the hearts, the claps, and the cheers, for us, was an eye-opening experience. I thought it was going to be just a regular parade that we happened to be in. When we did the parade in Franklin, walking arm in arm, that was a surprise for me. I mean, it brought tears of joy for me. And at that point, it just woke me up to the point like, people know who we are.
It is overwhelming. It is sad that a tragedy is what took for us to become as well known as we are. We have a wonderful, wonderful turnout of ladies that want to be a dancing granny. Right now we had 30 interested people, 25 showed up. I had heard also that we have at least 15 people that are on our waiting list for next fall. We start practice in February again.
It's overwhelming. That's what it is. To me, it just means that they see us having so much fun, working together, having fun together. And I think they didn't think that, they never thought of themselves doing it, but we're real people. So you can come in, you don't have to know how to dance. We've made that clear, you don't have to be a dancer. If you can walk, you can do it. You know what I mean? And I think people know that by now, or I would hope they do. We're excited for them to get a walk in the parades with us. They're going to be behind the truck. They're going to have banners.
I have the sheets if you didn't get them last time.
It means everything to me. I just know Jenny and Lee especially would be very upset if we didn't do this. And I know up there cheering us on, looking down and just saying, you go girls, you know what I mean? We're making them proud. And we're doing things that I think that they've always dreamed of doing, but didn't have enough ladies to do it with. So now we're getting enough. Now that we're starting to move on, I mean, everything's great. We've got all these perspectives. We've got great goals in mind, changing out costumes, getting different costumes and doing things differently. I mean, we're talking about the Macy's Day Parade and fundraisers, something we've never done.
Basically, that's about it. We've been just moving on and moving on. Ginny was, she loved the Grannies very much. She would do anything for the Grannies. I miss her. I am trying to fill her shoes and do what she would do for the Grannies to make them strong again. And the team that we have in there is unbelievable. Every granny in there that we have is pulling together and putting their best foot forward. Whatever their strength is, whether it be PR, whether it be volunteers, refresh, whatever it is we need, They are doing what they can to keep our group going.
Ebony Cox, she did a great job on that. That was beautiful. Now, some of this music or some of these I had to cut out the sound because of the music, and I couldn't get a copyright on it. So
And like move it back so it still gets all your mics. I'm just gonna phone out. I'll just put it here. And I know I got drafted to this job last minute, so I feel the pressure. No pressure.
So this is the clip where they perform for all of their caregivers at the hospital. This was probably the first performance. I think it was. It was definitely the first performance that they did following the tragedy. And I did have to mute the sound of the music for copyright reasons.
What time we got? 11:29. Showtime. Let the thing work. You got a great turnout of team members. That's great. I love that. I love that.
This was probably just as therapeutic for the hospital workers as it was for the grannies to do this. Now, Betty's the one up in the front, to the front left. She was the one that had a traumatic brain injury and was in the hospital for quite some time. So you'll see at the end how she gets to meet for the first time some of the people that were taking care of her that she wasn't aware were there.
Did you all get a shot next to I mean, he can get it later too, but I just think that's a cute. That's the expression. I'm sorry, but that was a good sign. What is MR? Medical respiratory. It's usually the yeah. Oh, that's so good. That's usually like the absolute critical patients are in MRIC. And most hospitals don't have. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I met with the team there was yeah. Those are some of my favorite people. They're amazing. All right, Dan, I think we're going to start. Okay. Okay, we're going to start, Dan. Yep. That was great, though, right? Yep. I got it. Sounds good. Good.
I got chills.
Right? Man, in November. Okay.
Okay, listen closely to what they say to each other. Oh, I didn't think I was going to start crying watching this again. Damn it. Do they each have their little who they support on top of their? Oh, okay, so she's got a Coast Guard. So she's got a Coast Guard son or grandson or granddaughter or daughter. And then I see some of them have the Marines. That's cool that they did that. I've never noticed that. It's the different parts of our, what do you call it? Military. It's the different military services.
Yeah. How are you? I'm good. How are you doing? Good, good.
Okay. One thing with that. I see that, please. Hold on one sec. That's all right. So, you understand it was on? Okay.
I didn't hear them talking to each other like I did. That was probably a different. That must have been a different source that I got that clip from because I had watched that before. Let's hear their reaction to the
Patrick,
verdict.
this is very emotional. The dancing grannies I talked to say they're feeling a range of emotions. It was November 2021 here in downtown Waukesha. Darrell Brooks drove through the Christmas parade, killing 6 people and injuring more than 60 others. But what you'll feel here downtown is a sense of unity, and you'll see it too. You'll see these blue lights inside and outside of businesses, and you'll see strongs like this Waukesha strong sign. Now, the grannies that I talked to, they told me about their feelings as they heard the judge read 76 guilty verdicts. What emotions have you been feeling?
One of the big ones was relief, that that the trial is over, and that justice has been served, but also that he's in a place where he can never hurt anyone again.
Amen.
4 of the 6 people killed were part of the Dancing Grannies community. This is a tight group. They told me they have 18 members, so they feel that loss. They got personal with me tonight, talking about how the members they've lost are helping them now.
We know that they're watching, they're helping us move forward because we know that that's what they would want.
And having this part over, now it's like, okay, now we get through the anniversary, we get through the Waukesha parade, but this was like a big milestone in this year of a lot of things to get through the first time. So it's a big turning point.
Our next story highlights an enthusiastic dance group that's been entertaining crowds along parade routes and at other events for nearly 4 decades. They've got all the right moves, and as Winnie Dorch found out, the only requirement for membership is to be a grandmother.
If it's one thing these women have in common, it's for sure rhythm. And just like the song, We Are Family, they got all their sisters with them.
We all truly, I think, love each other too. We're like sisters.
Meet the Milwaukee Dancing Grannies. Don't let the title fool you. They can move, groove, and maybe even outbeat you on the dance floor. Just ask Lee Owen. Can you keep up, Lee? Can you keep up with the group?
Oh, you bet I can. Yeah. I'm encouraging them. Come on, come on.
An award-winning dance troupe.
Spunky
The
little
squad
thing.
performs in holiday parades like 4th of July and St. Patrick's Day, showing off what these senior citizens can do. Janice Kramer says the support from the crowds gets them going.
Who doesn't like to hear wolf whistles at this age? I mean,
Wolf
come
whistles.
on. Really? Everybody's hooting and hollering and cheering you on.
When we would do like past the veterans, you know, and we do our kicks and, you know, do some kind of sexy hip thing.
The gentlemen at the VA love this step.
It's amazing.
They're even well known outside of Milwaukee County, little kids spotting them from a distance.
And another time, a bunch of us had gone up to Door County, and we were at some historic place, and there were some kids there waiting for a bus. And we had our Dancing Granny shirts on. And this one girl goes, "You're Dancing Grannies?" And a whole bunch of them got up and came over and started talking to us. And it's like, oh, kind of like minor celebrities.
But let's rewind back to 1984, the group's humble birth.
And it was a jazzercise group. And the women wanted a little more, so somehow they got into this. And the first parade that was ever done was South Shore Frolic.
Things have changed over the years, new women coming and others retiring. They've held their own and the crown.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Even incorporating a choreographer.
7 and 8.
Jenny Swanson.
10 and 11.
A blessing to the team for 19 years, whipping them into tip-top shape.
Pony.
She's like the heart and soul, honest to God. She keeps us on our toes.
I want it from the hip and I want it to matter.
I love dancing, and now that I can't with my surgery, it's like I lost a best friend. But the Dancing Grannies had a place for me here, choreography, and being an instructor. That's a really important part of my life, especially now where I can't dance. And I love it, and I love the ladies, and they're my family. They're my friends.
Always smiling, right?
The Grannies practicing once a week at Wilson Park. Information: lines must be perfect, shoulders up, and watch your partner.
Stay with your partner. Your partner.
President Tamara Rosentreader says the ladies are so passionate they're running through the drill after hours.
We each individually practice, you know, at home to make sure that we have the routines down.
You did really good.
The sisterhood doesn't end when they leave practice. It actually becomes stronger.
We do go out to special dinners a couple times a year. We just had a huge formal. Like we have this trip that we go on, which is out in Minnesota. There's a parade out there that we do, and everybody carpools together, and just it's a good time.
It's just nice to get to know, you know, the different grannies. It's nice to get to know their families. And when one does retire or quits or whatever, it's not only them, it's their family that goes. A lot of the husbands help in the parades, and so you miss them too.
You're all in sync. I told you, just like the Rockettes, you'll do it.
Dance is just a piece of the puzzle that blends the Granny gang. Staying healthy sits at the top of their list.
It's a good workout.
So it's great exercise, you know, and I think it keeps us young.
Where's the funky stuff?
While they may be stars, they're selfless.
There you go.
We like to reach out to the communities and the societies of what needs help. And whatever we can do out there, we will do.
Because they're thankful for the support given to them. So if you ever see the Dancing Grannies,
Hands up.
never hesitate to say hello or ask about membership. You will be loved unconditionally.
Thank you,
Oh
ladies.
God, I got
I really
chills.
appreciate it.
That's beautiful. Some of the stuff they said really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? This is more recent. They were at Mardi Gras.
This will make you smile too. The Milwaukee Dancing Grannies are in New Orleans. They
New
joined the
Orleans.
610 Stompers during the Mardi Gras parade today and had a lot of fun showing off their skills.
I'd spoken to Jan probably from the very beginning, and she told me one of the things in the rehabilitation, the healing, was to continue to perform. You know, get out in front of those crowds, and what better stage than Mardi Gras?
And Ginny, one of the women who was killed in the parade, always told us before every parade, you keep on dancing no matter what happens. You just keep dancing.
The group was devastated back in 2021 when 3 dancers and a volunteer were among those killed in the Waukesha Christmas parade attack. The group threw out Granny Strong bracelets during the 7-mile parade route. Oh, I hope they treated themselves some chicory coffee and beignets, don't you think?
Yes.
They should get whatever they want.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
I hope they got the full tour, the proper tour of New Orleans while they were there. Because hopefully they had a good tour guide. I'm sure they did. I'm sure that they catered to them. They better have, because we have that Southern hospitality down here. But yeah, that's awesome. This should be interesting. I don't think I've seen this one.
Hi, my name is Jan Kwiatkowski. My husband Dennis and I will be married almost 43 years in December. We have 4 adult sons who are all married and have 9 of the most perfect, wonderful, awesome grandchildren. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist in private practice. I'm one of the co-leaders of the Milwaukee Dancing Grannies, and I'm also a pastor. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this adventure. I'm actually on my way to a mental health consultation meeting. I'm a mental health consultant for Jefferson County Head Start, and just thought I'd stop and do this little introduction video this morning. All right, I'll look forward to getting to know all of you too.
How ironic is that? That she probably was able to use her training and her skills in helping the other grannies get through this. It's amazing.
Thanks. It's Friday night after a very long week. Lots of clients, and I trip out a couple times to Jefferson County this week for consulting with the Head Start and a whole variety of clients all over the place. And one of the things I like to do and get to do is be with my oldest grandson often on Friday nights. He has band practice on Saturday mornings, and I take him to band practice. So we usually pick him up after a fish fry. Dennis and I go to a fish fry and start to unwind for the weekend. And Zach and I get to spend some time in the pool just talking about what's going on in 8th grade and things that are important in his life. I'm really lucky as a grandma to be able to connect with my grandkids a lot. And I see Zach and Ella and Miles and Mason, who are in town here quite a bit. And my East Coast grandkids, while I only get to see them maybe once or twice a year, I'm in contact with them a lot. Drew and Michelle send videos of the kids, and we talk back and forth by video or FaceTime, and the same with Josh, Jake, and Gabby who live in Richmond. And being able to be with my grandkids, whether it's here or even through video, is one of the absolute bright the lights of my life and makes everything all worthwhile. And just a few minutes or a few seconds or a picture from any one of them or a video or a text or anything just makes my day and makes Grandma's heart very happy. So I'm off to some pool time with Zach. If you would have told me 4 or 5 years ago that I would have a wall full of bins of and bags of pom-poms on a wall in the bedroom, I would have told you you were out of your mind. But here I am on a Saturday afternoon, just going through some pom-poms that were given to me by Jeannie, so we could organize and keep track of costumes and all the things that we have as we grow this group. And so anyway, that's what I'm doing, at least for part of the Saturday afternoon. It's also kind of weird not to be in a parade or getting ready for a parade this weekend. Our summer schedule was so intense. We have one more coming up next week and then a few weeks break until this year, what's going to be a really intensive Christmas season with more parades than I can ever recall doing on a Christmas season. So actually, it's probably nice to have a break, and that's all good. It's all good. But anyway, that's my wall of pom poms. Who'd have ever thought it? It's a Thursday morning, and the granny part of the trial starts today. Starts actually in about 5 minutes, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard to listen to and watch. I've watched a lot of the trial in between work and when I've had time here and there, and my heart just aches watching what people have been through and watching them live through all of this again, as a human being, as a trauma therapist, as a mom, as a grandma, as a human being. Not exactly sure who of us is going to be testifying. There's a lot, obviously, that we can't and shouldn't talk about, so the trial proceeds as it should. And grateful for a process as hard as it is that honors the rights of all human beings. What this is helping me do, though, is process through some feelings that when all this happened, we were so busy coping with trying to get through and do the things we needed to do that I do what a lot of caregivers do, is tuck things aside and till the time is right to process them and and get through it. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I know what I need to do to take care of myself and love those around me, love the grannies, and hold all who are living through this in any kind of way in healing light and love. Um, Light always wins over the darkness. Sometimes it takes time, but it always wins. Well, it's Friday. It's kind of casual today and also a really bad hair day. But what's on my mind today is I'm thinking a lot about the both ends of life and how we can really feel conflicting emotions at the same time. And it is really hard to find, or to not to find, it's easy to find conflicting emotions, but it's sometimes really hard to live in the tension of conflicting emotions. And sometimes that can be between what you believe or the kind of person that you want to be and profess to be, and then difficult feelings that come up. And how do you live in that tension and resolve that? I firmly believe that feelings aren't just good or bad. They're information about whether you're happy with the situation, whether you don't like the situation, whether it's not meeting your expectations or is, if you feel it's just or unjust, all kinds of different reasons we have our feelings, but it's what we do with them that matters. And yeah, so today I'm just thinking a lot about how all of us experience conflicting emotions and the things we need to do and I need to do to take care of myself when those things come up, like take a couple deep breaths or realize that all I can do in any given moment is what I'm doing right now in this given moment. So just what I'm thinking about today. Thanks.
Hey, it's halftime in the Packers-Jets game, so I thought I'd make this video. I completely forgot yesterday, which would have been an awesome day to make a video. The Grannies were in Sister Bay, and it was the most amazing crowd and parade, and the energy was unbelievable. And that's one of the beauties of dancing with this group and doing parades is you just totally have to be in the moment in body, mind, and spirit in every possible way to really dance well and think about what you're doing with the group so that the whole group looks good and be kind of interacting with the crowd and all that. And I would have loved to have had a video showing you uh, all of the amazing things that happened that day and the amazing crowd, but that's okay. The other thing I was thinking about with that Sister Bay parade was resilience. Um, people think resilience oftentimes is just being able to get up and bounce back like nothing happened. And the reality is, and I work with this a lot in my practice too, is the reality is, unless it's something really small, like a little kid falls down and scrapes their knee a little bit, resilience is hard work. And, whether it's personally, professionally, or any other way. And I've been thinking about a lot about the resilience of the people in this group and our volunteers and just so many people, not only the Grannies, but who've lived with all of this past year and are working so darn hard to get past it. And I've always been fascinated by resilience and what it takes to be a resilient person. I consider myself a resilient person. Um, but I'm learning so much watching these people and interacting with all these people and going through the ups and downs of doing this. So I might talk more about resilience in the days to come. Because wow, it sure has been a year of learning all about it and from not from a theoretical perspective, but from a lived perspective. And that's okay. That's okay.
Oh.
Sorry, this one's going to be at a little bit of an odd angle. I'm just waiting to get done with an appointment. And then Dennis and I are finally off to 8 days in Barbados. We were there
Oh,
for
wow.
our honeymoon, and then kids sent us on a second honeymoon just before COVID, and my husband surprised me with a trip this fall. So it's a place we love dearly. I can't say enough about it. So all packed, ready to go. Car is ready to go, and we'll have coffee in hand shortly and be on our way. Well, Dennis and I are at O'Hare, and the first leg of our trip, we are flying from Chicago to Miami, and then Miami to Bridgetown, Barbados. I can't believe it's been a long time since we're finally doing this. Before COVID is the last time we were here. I may have said that before. Anyway, been kind of a stop and start kind of morning since 1 o'clock, but we're finally at the gate, and in about 44, 50 minutes, we'll put the plane. Excited. Got some coffee, and life's good. All right, talk soon.
I want to tell you about this incredible place called Hunt's Garden here in Barbados. It is a place on the very north of the island, and it was bought by a gentleman named Mr. Hunt many years ago. It was open to the public in 2007, and he bought 2.5 acres of land, one of which had a huge cave that became a sinkhole. And I'm like, why would anybody buy a piece of land that has a cave that's now a sinkhole? But what he did at this time of life is he spent many years with five people, turning that sinkhole into the most incredible gardens I have ever seen.
Oh, wow.
To the point that when we stepped into Hunt's Garden, my eyes welled up with tears. It was just so stunningly beautiful. The other amazing thing is that Mr. Hunt, who is 80 now, greets every guest every day and makes sure that he at least has a little bit of everybody's story. You've had a nice time at the garden and all of that. And he did all of these things in second half of life. And as a person who works with second half of life issues a lot, I really enjoy working with that population, and also someone who's in the second half of life myself. I just found such amazing inspiration in this very simple, gentle man who I'm guessing has an incredible amount of life wisdom in him, who built this beautiful, welcoming place.
Good morning from St. Lawrence Camp in Barbados. We went very early this morning, about 5 o'clock, to Pebbles Beach to see the horses bathe, the racehorses, and the groomers taken from the quarters about a block and a half to the beach, and they go in waist deep to the water. It is an incredible thing to see.
Oh, wow.
So we're walking around right now, waiting for a breakfast place to open. Tourist season isn't quite open yet, but it's just incredible. I want to show you a little bit of the water here. And again, it's so clear. I don't know if you can really see how clear it is. It's just astounding. And one of the things that people here in Barbados are so aware of is water and the precious commodity that water is. And I'm a water person. I'm a Pisces. I'm a water baby. And anytime I can be close to the water like this, it just feels so at home, like I found home for me. So anyway, I'll just show you a little bit of the incredible water and the beautiful water. And maybe one of these times I'll tell you about how they do water here in Barbados. Let me take you on a little walk. This is the boardwalk. It's more rocky. So anyway, not a bad way to spend a very early Saturday morning. And we're going to get some coffee. If we go around many times, I think Barbados is the first place my spirit entered this planet. I have such a strong sense of this being first home for some reason. I can't even begin to tell you what that's like or what that means. But, yeah, it just feels so connected here.
Even though I've been in my very happy place, I've still been following the trial and all of that from far away, either at night or sometimes when my husband is napping, and a little bit we've watched together, but obviously focused on
this as our time. But my heart has not been far away at all. Dennis is napping right now, and so I watched a little bit, and the closing arguments will begin in about 50 minutes. Went to the Waukesha Strong page and saw the video that Brenda, somebody from the community, posted. I put it on my Facebook page, and finally I could cry a lot of tears that I know would come for so much
And hold it
for
in.
so many. And for so much that people are still going through. The end is almost near from this, at least the trial part of this. Get through December and we will. My heart goes out to so many people. Your courage, your resilience, your dogged determination to heal, to look squarely at what happened. I have so much respect and awe for all of you. Blessings and holding so much and so many in light.
It has been quite a 24 hours. Left Barbados yesterday at 8 o'clock in the morning, which is 7 o'clock our time, and was hoping that if we were really lucky, we could get a verdict by lunchtime when I got to Miami. And lo and behold, the plane landed and it was announced that the verdict was reached. And I turned on my phone and one of the apps that I use and tuned it on just in time to hear the judge start reading the verdict.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 1 of the information, dated this 26th day of October 2022, signed by the foreperson, juror number 11. If you find the defendant guilty of first-degree intentional homicide, answer the following question, yes or no. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes.
Our flight had gotten moved up about 6 hours, about 6 hours. So with that, I was actually able to get home in time for me and Dennis to join the Grannies at where we go after our practice and eat and talk and have a toast and just be together on that night. I wasn't able to be there for practice with them. I'm looking forward to getting back with them next week. But yeah, it's going to take a while to take it all in, and we still have this Waukesha parade to get through. But this is a big turning point, and I have so much respect for all the people who testify, the first responders, all the witnesses, and wow, just everybody who did what they did to help Waukesha and help everybody involved get where they are. Yeah, so those are my initial thoughts. I'm glad this part's over. It's been really hard for a lot of people. I'm glad this part's over. And I'm glad he will never, ever be able to hurt another man, woman, or child again.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the last Sunday now before I go back to work, and it's time to go back to work. Lots of things have happened over the last several weeks, and I guess that's all just the way life goes. Got our Halloween decorations up. We don't do trick-or-treating around our apartment here, so I might do, depending upon my schedule, might do trick-or-treating with one of my grandsons tomorrow night. Another one is trick-or-treating this afternoon, and I'm not sure when the others are trick-or-treating. Anyway, happy Halloween. I think the costume that I'm wearing right now is scary enough. we'll just leave it at that. And I hope you all have a good rest of the Sunday. Packers are playing the Buffalo Bills tonight. Yeah, well, it's that kind of season. It's just that kind of season. We'll see where all of this goes, but it's probably not going to be real pretty tonight. Okay, enjoy the rest of this fall day. This might be the last warmish weekend we have for the fall season. Hoping not, but it might be. So enjoy every bit of it. And it is a treasure to look at all the colors this time of year. Not every place has that. Although I have to admit, I really do miss the palm trees and the ocean. Yep. Have a good one. I want to share with you the story of one of my plants that I'm very proud of. I love growing green plants, and one of the reasons we chose the apartment that we're in is it has a southern exposure, which means I've got all the light I need for to grow my plants. So anyway, I'm going to show you this plant.
It's a Christmas cactus, isn't it?
And I hope you got a good view of my Christmas cactus, which is again just starting to bloom. It blooms a couple times a year. The reason I'm so proud of that plant is that I got a snippet of a Christmas cactus plant from my busha many years ago. I was probably in my 20s. And my busha loved to grow plants too. Me and my busha were best buds. And so anyway, she gave me a snippet of the plant. They're easy to root in water and then stick in the ground, and they grow. So anyway, that plant, I don't know how long my busha had hers, but it was a long time. And I've kept my busha's plant alive for many generations after that. So I just wanted to share my plant with you. Thanks. Every now and then you got to do something to spice it up a little. So I've kept the curls, but have some of the old shortness from the back around the bottom, and it's sort of like the old me and the new me all combined into a brand new me. I'm kind of liking this haircut and perm. Pardon the ghost that's in the background there, but it is a beautiful 60-something degree day on November 1st, and I'm sitting outside doing as much work as I can outside on our balcony. Anyway, just some final thoughts here. The sentencing day for the perpetrator has been set for November 15th and 16th, and knowing that that day is coming, not even sure what the word is, because relief doesn't begin to cover that. But this chapter is now finally coming to an end, and I can't tell you how good that is to know that this part of this will be ending. I have my blue lights on my balcony at night here, and I was pleasantly surprised that when I went to Menards in Brown Deer, there were a lot of blue lights that were already sold. So proud of you, Brown Deer. But
So, if you aren't aware, during the trial, after the incident, one of the things that they did was at the different gatherings that they had, they would pass out blue lights, and they encouraged everyone to put up blue lights outside their home. And the city even had several put up, and it was just a way to honor the victims of the parade tragedy, and also thank those who helped the survivors, and like first responders and whatnot. So
anyway, we've got the next few weeks to get through, and there's a lot of people still hurting because of this and still having trauma responses because of all this, but we will get through it. I'll stick by them, and we're all going to get through this together. Something like this changes a person. I think it's still going to take a while to figure out all the changes and impact that it has had on me. And if it's had this much impact on me, and I wasn't there, I can't even begin to imagine what it was for the people who were there. But I know it's changed me and changed the way I, not so much changed my priorities, but changed maybe the intensity of how I value and treasure those priorities, and will more easily let go of the things that don't serve me well in body, mind, and spirit, as well as serve those people and those things that I value and my goals. And it's just really helped me just not so much reprioritize, but maybe refocus my energy on those, and I think that's a good thing. Yeah, and I'll just keep going with whatever happens. Rolling with the reflecting. I've been reflecting all my life, and will continue to reflect. And literally all we've got is one day at a time, one moment at a time, to try to stay as present as we can to that. And when we get out of that, always come back to that moment, because it's really all we have. And my goal is to live that to the very fullest until the very last moment I have here on this planet.
That was really, really well done. Once again, the Journal Sentinel, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, just did a great job. Okay, I want to go back because what I want to do now is I want for us to watch Laura's full testimony. This was the Dancing Grannies full testimony. Now, I think I have done this before, but I wanted to do it in a way that was, well, I want to watch this with you guys, but I'm not going to do any commentary throughout her testimony.
This will make
You're about to give, she'll be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Thank you. Please be seated. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
Laura, Laura, Thein, Thein.
Thank you. And sorry, I put an M on that previously. All right, go ahead, your witness.
Good morning, Mrs. Thein. How are you today?
Very good.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm going to direct your attention to November 21st, 2021. Were you at the City of Waukesha Christmas Parade on that day?
Yes.
Were you there as a spectator?
No, I was in the parade. I was in one of the units.
Okay. And which group were you with?
The Milwaukee Dancing Grannies.
How long were you with the Milwaukee Dancing Grannies?
How long?
Yes.
8 years.
Okay. And how would you describe, first of all, how many people at that time were in the Dancing Grannies approximately?
There were 9 of us in the parade.
Could you describe, were you guys friends, close? Did you see each other often?
We were like sisters. We were a sisterhood.
Did you meet regularly for practices?
Every week.
Okay. Without fail, pretty much?
And we had some social outings. And then we've seen each other again every weekend for a parade.
So would it be fair to say that the 9 people that were at the parade on November 21st, you knew pretty well?
Very well.
Is it normal for the Dancing Grannies to be part of parades?
Oh, yes. We do lots of parades. We do about 21 of them in summer and about 5 to 6 in winter.
You talked about practices. Did you have certain numbers that you did for example, for the Christmas parade this past year in November?
Yes, we do Christmas routines and Christmas for the holidays. And then we do different type of routines for summer.
In November, would you have a pretty standard formation that you would keep to do each of your routines during the parade?
Yes.
Did you have uniforms?
Yes, we did.
Can you describe them for the jury?
They were long skirts with white fur. They were blue with white fur on the bottom, blue jackets with white fur for cuffs and around the neck, and a white fur hat.
Did you have, I'm assuming if you were dancing to music, that you had something that played the music?
Yes, we have a music vehicle.
Where would that music vehicle be in relationship to the group who was performing?
Right behind the group.
Oh, hold on, there's been an objection. It's noted, it's overruled, her answer may stand. Just in the future, if there is an objection, wait until I've ruled on it and then answer if I say overruled, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Relevant.
Grounds for the relevancy.
Keep going.
Thank you. So did you also have people walking with the performers in the parade to give support?
Yes, we have volunteers. We have 2 volunteers that carry the banner and a volunteer that will give us ice chips in case we get.
Do you recall who were the 2 volunteers who were carrying the banner that day?
Yes, there was our usual banner carrier, a young girl, Allie, and then at the last minute, the gal didn't show up because we have 2 for the banner. She didn't show up. So Ginny, at the last minute, decided to be the other banner carrier.
Now, when you say Ginny, are you referring to Virginia Sorensen?
Yes.
And you knew her as Ginny?
Yes.
Okay. And you said there's also another support person who carried ice chips.
Yes.
Do you know who that was last year?
Overruled. You may answer.
Grounds for the overrule.
I should.
You can answer.
Okay. Yes, Bill, one of our dancing Grannies' husbands.
Is that Wilhelm Haspel? Is that his full name?
Yes.
Thank you. Now I have before you a document that's marked States Exhibit 54.
Okay.
Do you see that in front of you?
Yes, that's pretty much our group.
Okay. So it consists of 9 different, it looks, why don't you describe for the jury exactly what's in front of you?
Overruled.
Grounds.
You may answer.
Okay, we have 9 people that were in the parade. And when there are an uneven number, there is somebody who is in the slot.
Okay.
And it was my turn to be in the slot.
Okay. Okay. So on the top of the sheet, and I have a copy in front of me. So if we're going from the top down, we have the names. It says banner, and then on the left-hand side, as I'm looking at that, it's Ginny Sorensen and Allie. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I'm going to actually ask that this be published also for the jury and admitted into evidence.
We have yet to see what's being talked about being shown.
Does Mr. Brooks have a copy?
I believe it's up in front of him now.
All right. Give him a minute to look at it.
I'm not consent to being called that name, nor do I agree to being called that name.
The record should reflect that the Exhibit 54 is being displayed on the monitors at the present time to the parties, to the court, and to the witness. There's been an offer or a request by the state that the court receive the exhibit based upon the testimony of this witness. Exhibit 54 is received permission to publish as granted. Noted. Overruled.
On what grounds?
Mr. Brooks, I'm not going to be specifically addressing, so please respect that.
I respectfully request a legal reconsideration of your ruling.
Mr. Brooks, now is not the time for that. The objection has been overruled. I expect that you will honor that, and we will continue without interruption. Go ahead.
I do honor it, Your Honor. For the record, I respectfully reject that ruling and take exception to that ruling.
Keep going.
Thank you. So in the upper left-hand corner, the name Ginny Sorensen. In the middle, it says banner, and then Allie. Ginny was Virginia Sorensen. She was carrying the banner with Allie, correct?
Yes.
And they would be in the front as the group is going down the parade route?
Yes.
And the 9 people who are listed in the boxes following or behind the banner, does that accurately reflect the lineup that you had on November 21st of last year?
Yes.
Okay. Overruled. Her answer may stand.
Your Honor, I'm now going to show the witness exhibit 53, just the witness only.
Go ahead.
And let me know when you see it up on your screen.
It's on.
Okay. I'm going to show you a couple seconds of it. I'm just going to ask you if this accurately depicts your group on November 21st of last year. So I'm going to play a couple seconds. It's starting at 00, and let's play it for 5 seconds.
This is my group coming up.
Okay. And does that accurately reflect how your group on November 21st of last year? Okay.
Sorry, you were shaking your head. Yes. Is that a yes?
Yes, that's how it was.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have said that out loud.
It's okay. It's okay. That's what I'm here for, to make sure the record's clear.
Okay.
I would ask the court to admit this exhibit 53 into evidence and publish it for the jury.
Objection.
Overruled. Exhibit 53 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Grounds for the overrule.
Ma'am, I'm going to play it straight through, and then we'll go back and go through it and pause it occasionally for you to identify everyone, okay?
Grounds for the overrule, Your Honor.
The statement continue.
Is that a legal determination that you don't have to give me the grounds for the overrule as I have objected on the
Mr.
record?
Brooks, stop interrupting. I've made my ruling. Let's keep going. Go ahead.
Thank you.
I ask for a written judicial finding of facts and conclusion of law. Or is that a tactic agreement, Your Honor?
Your Honor, just for the record, this is 1 minute and 27 seconds left. Bam, that was the routine at the beginning of the parade, it looks like. Is
Yes.
that correct? And will you be able to identify each of the people if I go through the exhibit and kind of pause it occasionally for you to tell us who they are and a little bit about them?
Objection, hearsay.
Thank you.
Overruled.
Grounds for the overrule.
Not hearsay. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'd ask that we begin playing it without sound at 00. If we can pause it. Again, can you circle Virginia Sorensen on the screen? The screen in front of you is touch.
Okay. This is Ginny.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about Ginny?
Ginny she held the group together. She was in the group the longest. And I think she was in the group for close to 20 years. So she was in there for a long time. She was close to everybody. Like I say, we were like sisters. And if you had a problem, she would always ask you about it, talk to you about it. Ginny was always there.
If we can continue on, it stopped, I'm sorry, at 1 second. If we can continue on from 1 second. If we can pause it.
Okay, and now that's Lee and Sharon.
Okay, so who is on, as we're looking at this video, who's on the right side?
The right side would be Sharon. Lee is on the left. She was right behind Ginny.
And I'm just going to direct you to Exhibit 54.
I'm
That's
sorry.
in front of you.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I misunderstood. When you say the left side of the street was where Lee Owen was, or the left side of the picture as you're looking at your screen?
Lee was on the left, right behind Ginny.
Misty, it's okay. There's been an objection. It's overruled, but I would caution the state about leaving the witness.
Okay.
Go ahead. You may answer.
Okay. So right behind Ginny was Lee Owen.
Yes.
What's her name? Full name? Leanna Owen.
Lee was very close to Ginny. They worked together a lot for the group, and she taught a lot for the new people that were coming in. She was more or less the leader to teach them the routines. And I rode with Ginny to not Ginny, but Lee. I rode with her to every practice. We rode together. So we were quite close too.
And next to Lee, you stated according to Exhibit 54, that would be Sharon Millard.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to focus on the people that were injured during the parade, okay? So next, if we can continue on, we stopped.
Before you move on, can you tell me where that was paused?
11 seconds.
Thank you.
If you continue on from 11 seconds. And pause. The state has paused at 21 seconds.
Okay.
There's a woman who seems to be between in back of Lee and Sharon. Do you recognize that person?
That would be Betty.
And do you know Betty's last name?
Betty String.
Okay. And did you know her very well?
She was fairly new. She was only in the group for a couple years.
Okay.
And so, but we knew each other quite well.
Would she go out on the events with you and you do social events?
Absolutely.
Okay. I think I said it, I stopped at 21 seconds. If we can continue on. We can pause it. The state has paused at 28 seconds. Behind Betty, there are two women who are in the forefront of the video that stopped. The person that would be dancing on the left-hand side of the street as you're walking down the street, do you know who that is?
That would be Kathy Schmeling. This was her first parade.
Can you circle her where she's standing on the screen?
Okay, I go the way she's going. On the right side or left?
Circle who you think is Kathy Schmeling.
Okay. Kathy would be on the right. She would be right there.
Okay. And you said the other person was who?
Lola.
Okay. Can you circle Lola?
Hospital. She is the wife of Bill that was hit.
Okay.
Noted, it's overruled. Her answer may stand. Next question.
Grounds.
And you stated that Wilhelm or Bill was a support person that was marching the parade that day.
Yes.
What did you know about Lola?
Lola was the mother figure. She was, I think, the oldest in the Grannies. And she was rather on the quiet side, but she was just friendly with everyone.
Okay. Was she in the Grannies when you joined 8 years?
Oh, yeah, she was in quite a long time, similar to Ginny.
So continuing on from 28 seconds, I'd ask that we continue playing it. If we can pause. The state paused at 34 seconds. Can you identify the person who is behind Lola and Kathy in the video?
Yeah, she would be in the middle. That is.
There's been an objection. It's overruled.
Grounds.
She may answer.
Grounds.
That's Tamara. Rosentier. It's hard to pronounce her name, but Rosentier.
Rosentreater? That sounds right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you circle her on the screen?
Okay, that's her right there.
Okay. And what can you tell us about Ms. Rosentreater?
She was, I would say, about 5 years into the group, 4 to 5 years. And fun person, very friendly. All of us are very friendly.
Okay. You seem like you might be. Okay, if we can clear the screen and continue from 34 seconds. And if we can pause the screen here.
Okay.
Okay, the next two people are behind Ms. Rosentreater.
Tamara, yeah.
And can you identify those people?
Yes. This is Tamara Duran.
So you had two Tamaras on your team?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And two Kathys too.
Okay.
And this is Kathy.
Is that Zartek?
Zartek or something like that.
Hold on, there has been an objection.
Okay.
I'll sustain the objection, leading grounds. Her answer may stand, but I would again caution the state to.
And I would just note for the record, Exhibit 54 is in front of this witness, and it does have the first and last names, and she's already said that it accurately reflects the people who are marching with the Dancing Grannies on November 21st of last year.
That was not the question. It was leading.
Understood. For purposes of identification, though, I'm going to instruct her to turn the Exhibit 54 over to make sure that her testimony today is from her recollection and not from reading from the form. So if you could turn that over, please. The paper document that you have. There you go. Thank you. Go ahead.
Now you circled, can you circle Tamara Durand again, Tamara?
Okay, this is Tamara Duran.
Okay.
This would be Kathy Z.
Okay. Direct your attention to Miss Durand. Can you tell us a little bit about her?
I'm sorry.
Directing your attention to Miss Durand, can you tell us a little bit about her?
She was new, and this again was her first parade. She was so excited about being a granny because she had worked for months and months to learn all the routines. And when she knew she would be in that Christmas parade, she was so excited. She just couldn't wait. So she was looking forward to doing all the parades. That was the first and last parade she ever did.
If we can clear the screen and continue on with the video from 42 seconds. If we can pause it. Last but not least, hopefully you get this one. Okay, that's you.
That's me.
Okay, if you can circle you on the diagram, there's only one person in it. And you said you've been with the Dancing Grannies for 8 years, correct?
Yes.
Okay, if we can clear this, and I stopped it at 1 minute and 9 seconds. If we can continue forward. I'm going to pause.
That's the music vehicle.
Who drove that vehicle on that day?
Pardon?
Who drove the vehicle on that day?
My husband.
Okay. And you see a figure entering into the screenshot. Do you know who that is?
This would be Bill.
Okay. Thank you. And that's Bill Wilhelm.
Pardon?
Do you know the last name?
It's been retried.
Hospital.
Okay.
That would be Bill Hospital.
Okay. And do you recall him wearing a hat that day, as shown in the picture?
Objection, leading the witness.
Overrule.
Grounds.
Relevance. You may answer.
Okay. Bill was just walking up behind Tamara Duran, and he's going to be offering
Thein,
her some ice.
I'm not sure you heard the question. If the state could re-ask it.
Certainly. In looking at the picture, was Mr. Hospital wearing a hat that day?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. And during pretty much the entire route of the parade, was he usually in back of you or in front of your position?
He's on the side of us.
Okay. And usually on the side that he's on right now?
Sometimes he would be on the other. It just depended how many people we had to give ice on any particular parade.
Okay. And was it cold that day? Do you remember?
Yes, it was pretty cold.
Okay. I did stop the video at 1 minute and 20 seconds, and I am done with this exhibit. At some point during the parade, did you hear, strike that, were you always, with the formation that you testified about, were you always the last dancer in the formation?
No.
On November 21st, 2021, were you the last dancer in the formation throughout that parade route?
For this parade, I was.
Okay.
We took, if there's an even number, nobody is in the slot. But if there's an odd number, there was no partner. So we just would take turns. Each different person at each different parade would be in the slot.
Okay. So at some point, did you hear something unusual behind you during the parade?
No, because the music vehicle was right behind me.
Did you at any time turn around and see something unusual?
Yeah, as we were going and I was dancing, when I would turn, I seen a streak of red coming on my right side.
How fast was that streak of red going?
It was going pretty fast.
Hold on. The objection's noted. It's overruled. Her answer may stand.
Grounds for the overrule.
Relevance.
So your answer stands, which you said it was going pretty fast?
Yes, it just like whizzed past me. It wasn't just going slow.
As it was going past you, who was in the area prior to it going past you on, and I'm assuming you lifted your right arm, was that on your right side as you were marching down Main Street?
Yes.
Okay. Who was in that area prior to that red streak coming through?
Kitty corner for me, that would be Bill and Tamara Duran.
Did you get the opportunity to see what that red streak was?
Yeah, and shortly, in a few seconds later, the red vehicle was right in front of me, going down the center of, to me, just pointing to the center of the parade route.
So right in front of you?
Yes.
How close did that red streak come to you?
I would say a few feet. He had to go around the car, the music vehicle. Okay. And then the right on the right side, and that's when Bill and Tamara were hit.
So when you were in front, or I'm sorry, in the back of the parade lineup, how far were you directly in front of the music car?
Several feet.
And the red vehicle that you've identified, it went to the right of
It
the
came
music car?
from the right side, yes.
And you stated it hit Bill and Tamara, correct?
They were the first ones because they were just kitty corner from me, several feet.
Then where did it go?
Then I noticed I didn't see them get hit because it all happened so quick that I was still dancing. And all of a sudden I seen the red car in front of me, and I screamed either in my head or out loud. I don't know which, but I said, "What is he doing? Where's he going?" And I just screamed it because it was so unusual. And I knew if he was going down the center of the parade route, he was going to be hurting a lot of people. And he wasn't going slow. He was going at a good clip.
Did, from the time that you saw the red vehicle on your right, striking Bill and Tamara, did you see it slow down at all?
Did I what?
See the vehicle slow down?
No, it just hit them. And as he was coming in, he started then going toward the middle where he hit two more people and then veered to the left and killed two more.
You said it was a red vehicle. Did you get a general description of the vehicle? What type of car? Was it a car, a sedan, a pickup truck?
No, it was like a SUV or something. It was wasn't just a car. It was a van or, something on that order, SUV.
So as the vehicle went through, did it stop after it struck? I think you said it struck the people in the front. Who were the people that you just testified to that died?
Objection, leading witness.
Overruled.
Grounds.
He came from the right. Hit two.
Oops, sorry.
Was not me. Go ahead, you may answer.
It came from the right, hit two people, and then veered toward the middle. That's when I really seen him. And then hit two more people, veered to the left, and hit two more.
And the last two people that were struck, do you know who those people were?
Yes, I believe they were Ginny and Lee.
And you testified that both of those people died as a result of being struck?
They were killed instantly. And because the car came from the back, oops.
That's okay. There's not a question. Wait till the question is asked.
Okay.
After the car struck Ginny, and she would have been in the front of the parade, still carrying the banner, is that correct?
Yes. She was on the far left, right in front of Ginny.
After that occurred, did you see the vehicle stop?
No.
Vehicle kept going?
Yes.
Did you see the path of travel it took after it struck Ginny?
Well, after it struck Ginny, it was sort of on the left side of the street, and it just kept barreling through.
I'm going to bring up Exhibit 54 again. Go ahead. And I'd ask that be published to the jury. It's previously been admitted to evidence. Go ahead.
Okay. What's the relevancy of the video?
Exhibit 54, the court's already admitted it. It is shown to the jury. Go ahead.
Ma'am, can you, when the car went through, can you approximate where Bill was on this chart? You can put an X where you think he was.
Bill was about here.
I thought the sheet wasn't being shown. You specifically made a ruling for the sheet to be turned over.
That was during her testimony. She's now being asked to annotate the exhibit. So it's proper. Your objection's noted. It's overruled. Go ahead.
Thank you. Can you show the jury using this chart, and maybe you just using a line, the path that the red vehicle took?
It struck there, hit Tamara, Betty, Lee, and then Jenny.
Thank you. If we can take a screenshot of that, and it would be State's Exhibit 54A, I believe. And you stated after it struck your group, it continued going in the left hand?
Yes.
Side? Do you know what group was in front of you?
What was in?
I'm sorry, do you know what parade group was in front of the Dancing Grannies? And if you don't remember, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not real sure.
That's fine.
For the record, the court did capture the annotation and marked it as 54A.
After the vehicle went by, what did you do?
After when I noticed that vehicle in front of me, and then it went toward the left and continued going down, it all happened in a matter of seconds. And after the car kept going, I looked on the road, and all I seen were bodies. I thought I was in a war because there were just so many, and I just went into shock, and I just grabbed my jacket like this and went to each body to see who it was and if I could help.
You said that you grabbed your jacket. You held both sides of your jacket up to your neck area. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes, I think I needed.
Hold on. The objection's noted. It's overruled. Her answer and the description provided for the record by Attorney Basie, I would note, was accurate. You may continue.
Grounds for the overrule.
Already noted. Go ahead, Attorney Basie.
So you said that you were in shock.
I just went into shock seeing the bodies. I needed to hold on to something, I think. So I just grabbed this and just went from body to body. And then the people were running into the road with blankets, and anybody that was in the medical group quick came and were helping the people that were laying in the road to see if they could help.
The people that you saw laying in the road, were all of those people from your group?
Yes.
Overruled, not hearsay. Just a reminder, once again, let me rule on the objection before you answer. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Can you walk us through who you went up to and what you observed after you said you started going to each of the bodies to check and see if you could help?
Like I say, the people from the sidewalk, they just ran into the road to help.
Spectators?
Spectators from the sidewalk, yes. They were wonderful to try to help, bringing blankets to cover the people, to keep them warm. Then there was someone from I think it was the tavern, the bar right there. And someone came out and had us, kind of corralled us, me, Sharon, and Kathy, into the tavern to give us some warm coffee or something to drink. But I couldn't stay in there. I had to be out there, and I had to know what was going on and how badly anybody was hurt.
So when you came out, who did you go up to?
I went up back. I was on the road again and just looking who was being helped and who was not quite being helped yet and how badly they were hurt. I could not even find Tamara and Lee.
Okay. And when you say Tamara Durand or Tamara Rosentreater?
Durand.
Okay. So you couldn't find Tamara or Lee Owen?
Sorry. Did you hear her ask, was that Lee Owen?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the two of them. I couldn't find. The rest of the people were accounted for, but I didn't know where they were. So when they were hit, they went flying on the sidewalk.
So,
and that's why I didn't see them on the road.
okay, you said yourself, Kathy Zadarstek, Kathy Schmeling, the three of you went into the bar initially. Is that correct?
When they came out, they told us, come on in here and get warm and have something warm to drink. And
were you injured as a result did you get struck by the red vehicle?
No.
Did you see injuries, or do you know if Kathy Schmeling or Kathy Zadarstek got hit by the red vehicle?
I don't believe so, because Sharon, Kathy, and I were, Kathy Z, were kind of walking in the road trying to see if everyone was being helped.
How about, you said Sharon was also looking to see if people were being helped. Did you observe any injuries on Sharon?
No. We were the three more or less and the fourth one was Kathy Schmeling, and she immediately went on the sidewalk, and I think it was a sister or someone was on the sidewalk watching the parade. She quick ran up to Kathy and took Kathy right home.
Kathy's sister, Kathy Schmeling's sister, took Kathy Schmeling home?
Yes, because she was crying, standing there on the sidewalk, and she was kind of uncontrollable.
Okay. So let's go, who were the first people that you saw as you walked out to check on people?
Sharon, I seen her.
I'm sorry, the injured people.
Oh.
Who did you see of the injured people? Approximately where were they and what did you observe?
Okay, I went straight ahead, and it was mainly Tamara.
Rosentreater?
Yes. And then it was Betty String.
Were they both on the ground?
Yes, they were laying in the road.
Did you see, were they able to move?
Pardon?
Were they able to move?
Not much, because the people were telling them to lay still, because I believe Betty had 2 skull fractures, and they didn't want her to move her head or anything. But yet she was awake and she could talk.
Okay.
So.
How about Tamara Rosentreater?
Now she had several broken bones, ribs, arm and wrist, leg. So she had a lot of broken bones, but she too could talk and communicate.
How about Lola Haspel?
Lola immediately ran to her husband. He was laying kind of on the sidewalk, because when he was hit, he just went toward the sidewalk. And now he was hurt. He wasn't killed instantly. And she had a blanket for him, and she stayed with him until the ambulance came and took him to the hospital.
Did Bill recover from the injuries sustained by that vehicle?
No, he didn't. He died during surgery.
Did you note any injuries or find out of any injuries to Lola Haspel?
No.
And Lee, Owen, you said you could not find. Did you find Lee at all that evening?
Yes. Later, the police had me identify her. They had her picture on their phone. And because I asked where Lee was, and they showed me this Lee. And it was her. She was thrown on the sidewalk. That's why I didn't see her in the road.
Do you know what side of the sidewalk she was, or what side of the road she was thrown on?
She was on the left.
As you're marching down Main Street, she was on the left side?
Yes, she was right behind Ginny.
Okay. And the picture that they showed you of Lee, was she alive when they took that picture?
No, she was killed instantly.
And Ginny, did you see Ginny that night?
Ginny was killed instantly also. She was right there on the road.
Again, on the left-hand side?
Yes.
And did you go by Bill Hospital?
Bill was on the right side. He kind of was thrown on the sidewalk.
Did you go by him at all, or?
Yes,
Objection.
I talked to him.
Hold on, there's been an objection.
Oh, I didn't hear him.
It's overruled, and her answer that she gave me.
I didn't even state the objection, but
Ma'am, I'm going to show you what's been previously marked and admitted into evidence, which is Exhibit 15. It's going to show up on your screen, okay? Let me know when you see it in front of you. And I'd ask that it be published to the jury as well. It's previously been admitted into evidence.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Ma'am, can you, is this look to be Main Street, the parade route from November 21st of 2021?
objection. Leading the witness.
Sustained as to the form of the question. Please rephrase.
Do you know what Exhibit 15 is?
No, I don't know what this really is.
Okay. Do you see, does it appear to be a map or something else?
Objection. Leading the witness.
Okay.
Overruled. She may answer that.
Does it appear to be a map or something else?
Yes, where there's a lot of names and kind of a map.
Okay. Do you see a purple line on that map?
Yeah, with all the purple stars on.
Or I don't know if they're purple stars, but I see some yellow stars, some orange stars.
Yes.
Objection. Leading the witness.
This has previously been marked and admitted into evidence. I think I can direct her attention to these items.
I think
Your objection is noted. It's overruled. This exhibit has previously been received.
I think the stars the color are pretty obvious what they are.
There's various color stars, and
There's
again,
only
the
two
exhibit's
color
been
stars.
received. The jury can determine for itself later on what colors they are, the meaning of them. But go ahead, you may ask your next question of this witness.
And you see the street that, the long street that's depicted on Exhibit 15. Do you see a name on that street?
Okay.
Do you see it?
Yes.
And what is it?
I see all the stars. I don't know what the question.
Do you see a name on the street on the map?
Okay, let me see.
For example,
Main Street, Broadway.
Yes. So is Main Street the street that you were on when you were marching and your group got hit?
I believe it was.
Okay. Now, if you go to look to the bottom left, there is a box that's labeled Dancing Grannies. Do you see that?
Yes.
And it has 7 names in that box. Are those all part of the Dancing Grannies?
Objection. Leading the witness.
Overruled. She may answer.
Grounds.
She may answer.
answer.
Go ahead.
With the exception of Bill, he was Lola's husband.
Yes. I'm sure he would appreciate that distinction that he was not one of the dancers.
Right.
All those people were associated with the Dancing Grannies.
Yes.
And the people in red are the ones that you testified are deceased as a result of being struck that day. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the other 3 that are in green are those people who were injured as a result of being struck that day?
Okay, 1, 2. Yes, Lola wasn't really injured. She just was with Bill when he was injured to keep him calm.
Okay. And you see that there's a black line that directs it to a yellow star. Do you see that?
Objection. Leading the witness.
Yes.
Overruled. This exhibit has previously been received. It's fair for the state to direct the witness's attention to a particular part. And her answer may stand.
Does that appear to be the location where your group was struck?
Okay, yes.
It does?
It looks like it would be, yes.
Thank you. We can take that off the screen. I'd now like to show Exhibit 55. Go ahead.
I'm assuming just the witness.
Yes, just the witness. If we can play it for approximately, first of all, do you see it in front of your screen?
Yes.
Okay. Starting at 00, we're going to play it for approximately 10 seconds, and then I'll ask you some questions about it, okay? Does that accurately depict what occurred to your group on November 21st, 2021?
Yes, it does.
I'm going to ask that it be admitted into evidence and published to the jury.
Objection.
Overruled.
Grounds.
It's relevant. Permission to publish is granted. Exhibit 55 is received.
And Your Honor, this clip is 15 seconds long. I would ask that the full clip be played at this time. Go ahead. Ma'am, the group that you saw on the right-hand side of the screen, was that the Dancing Grannies?
Yes, it was.
And did you see headlights coming through your group?
No, because it came from the back.
I'm sorry, in the video, did you see headlights
Oh,
coming through?
yes.
Objection, leading the
Yes.
You may answer.
And you answered?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And was that the path of travel you recalled seeing the red vehicle take as it went by you on the right and went through your group?
Yes.
I want to show it one more time for the jury so that they can now focus on the headlights on the vehicle.
Objection. Relevancy.
Your objection's noted. It's overruled. Permission to publish once again
Grounds.
is granted.
And Your Honor, the state is going to play it at 50%.
Grounds. Objection. Grounds.
Noted. Overruled.
Grounds.
Relevance.
If you can start,
And
please.
I request legal reconsideration of your ruling.
Denied.
Grounds of the denial. For the record, may I request a legal or factual basis for your ruling? Is that a legal determination, Your Honor? Are you making the judicial determination?
You may continue.
Ma'am,
Attorney Basie.
did you see the body come forward and fly in front of the truck?
No, me being in
I'm
back.
sorry, in the video, did you see the body flying in front of the truck?
It's not
No.
leaving.
In the video that you just saw, you didn't see a body?
Oh, yeah, on the video, but not.
Right. And do you know who that was?
Yes.
Who was that?
When they had it on TV, that was
No,
the man, right?
I'm sorry. Who was the body that went flying in the street that came towards the front of the screen?
Hold on one second. That last answer, I'm going to, because it was non-responsive, but I'm going to strike it, instruct the jury to disregard it, and then if you could state your question again.
Certainly. If we can go to exhibit 55 again, to approximately the 10-second mark.
Are you withdrawing that last question then?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you.
The question.
It's been withdrawn.
May it be struck from the record.
It's been withdrawn.
May it be struck from the record.
There does not need to be struck. So the request is denied. It's been withdrawn.
May I ask for legal and factual
Remarks of
basis for
the
your ruling?
attorneys and questions of the attorneys are not evidence. It's the answers that are evidence. So that's why it's not being struck. You may continue, Attorney Daisy.
Thank you. Do you see a body probably in the middle of the screen on the left-hand side? On the ground?
Yes.
Do you know who that is?
Well, it's hard to tell who it's, but that would probably be Ginny.
Okay, thank you. I'm now going to show you just you. It'll be in front of you on the screen, exhibit 152. Exhibit 152 is 14 seconds in length. I'm going to show it to the witness, the entire 14 seconds, to see if she recognizes this. Do you recognize what's depicted in that video as what occurred and what you saw on November 21st of last year?
Yes.
Okay.
But when the car hit them. It was on my side, and I didn't see them flying or anything.
But you saw the car come through, and you previously testified that you saw the car strike them. You didn't see where they went. Is that fair?
Objection, leaving the witness.
Overruled. That answer may stand.
I'm going to ask that this be admitted into evidence and published to the jury.
Objection. Where's the relevancy?
The objection's noted, it's overruled, and Exhibit 152 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Grounds for your ruling, Your Honor.
Relevance.
I'm going to play it at full speed initially, and I'm going to play it at 50%. So I will ask you questions after I play it full speed, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If we can play the whole 15 seconds. With ma'am, who did that red vehicle strike in that exhibit 152?
Objection. Leading the witness. Saw the video.
Hold on, there's been an objection, everyone. The objection is noted, it's overruled. Now you may answer.
Grounds for the overrule, Your Honor.
It's overruled, you may answer.
Grounds for the overrule, Your Honor.
Go ahead, you may
Tomorrow,
answer.
Duran.
Thank you. I'm now going to play it at 50% speed for the jury. And that was the car that you saw travel in front of you?
Yes.
Objection, leading the witness.
Overruled.
Grounds for the overrule, Your Honor.
It's overruled. Next question.
Ma'am, I'm now going to, if I did not already do it, I'd ask that exhibit 152 be admitted into evidence. I would then direct the witness's attention to exhibit 153, which will show just in front of your screen, okay?
Grounds.
Exhibit 152 was received already. No need to address the request for grounds by Mr. Brook due to that. And then the exhibit is up in front of the court, the witness and the parties, but not published.
Objection, I do not consent to or agree to being called that name, Your Honor, for the record.
Go ahead, Attorney Basie.
This clip
Would that be noted for the record, Your Honor?
Go ahead, Attorney Basie.
Thank you.
May that be noted for the
Mr.
record, Your
Brooks,
Honor?
stop interrupting.
I just want to make sure.
Mr. Brooks, stop.
I just want to make sure it's on the record.
Go ahead, Attorney Basie.
Thank you. This clip is 38 seconds in length, Your Honor. Again, I'm going to show you the first 5 seconds of this clip and ask if it accurately reflects your observations from November 21st of last year. If you can start. Ma'am, is that your group in the Waukesha Christmas Parade last November?
Yes.
Okay. I'd ask that exhibit 153 be admitted into evidence and be published for the jury.
Objection. Relevancy.
Exhibit 153 is received and may be published to the jury. The objection is noted and overruled.
Ma'am, I'm going to have it played at full speed, and then I'll ask you some questions and then play it at half speed, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, what did you see in Exhibit 153 that was just played before you?
I seen Bill being hit and thrown towards the sidewalk.
That's Bill Hostel?
Yes.
And I'm going to show it now to you and the jury, just a clip of it, starting at 0 seconds at 50% speed. What I'm going to be asking you about is where you are in this clip, okay? So if you can start it. I see we may have a future granny in front of us here with the green hair.
Sure looks like it.
Objection. Relevancy.
Your objections noted, sustained, the jury will strike that last question and answer. And the jury will disregard that last answer.
Now, if you look at the streets, pause. Sorry, keep going. If we can pause it now at 21 seconds. I would just ask, did you see after Bill Hospital was struck, did you see some feet coming through the screen on the bottom at the very end of that clip?
Objection. Relevancy.
I seen him in the legs, yeah.
Okay. And then did you see your feet, Mark? That would have been the approximate area that he was hit. Did you see your feet in the video at the end? It's fine if you didn't. It's
Not really.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, thank you.
Ma'am, I'm going to give Mr. Brooks an opportunity to ask you questions as well. Please answer those for him. Go ahead, your cross.
During your testimony, you kept referring to he. Who were you referring to when you said he?
I can't understand him.
Can you state your question a little bit louder? She's not able to hear.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
You need to be closer to the microphone or project your voice, okay?
I got it.
Thank you.
During your testimony, you kept referring to a he. Like a lot of times you would say he. Who were you referring to by the he? Who did you mean by the he?
He,
Yes.
when it was showing Bill,
No, not
Bill
the,
would be the he.
before today. Have you seen any of those videos before today?
No.
You stated that you saw a red vehicle strike the Grannies. Do you remember if that was, or let me back up. Do you remember what type of vehicle you saw?
It was like an SUV. It wasn't just a car. It was, the flat back. I'm bad for cars. And all I know is I seen the red streak, and then all of a sudden I seen the car in front of me.
So would you describe it as a car?
It was a vehicle.
And how close did it come to you, if you recall?
I would say several feet. I was in front of the music vehicle, and it came around the music vehicle on the right side, and that's where Bill and Tamara were. And I was a little bit this way because I was directly behind the music vehicle.
Were you able to see into the vehicle in any way?
Was I able to what?
To see inside of the vehicle?
No, because it came behind me.
So you didn't get a look at the driver at all?
No, I don't have eyes in the back of my head.
Do you recall what happened when people were struck by the vehicle?
No, I couldn't see them being struck from where I was. The vehicle was big, and it was after the vehicle went through our group that I seen all the people that were struck.
Earlier, you testified to people being thrown to the side of the street. Would it be fair to say that, and I'm going off your last answer to the last question, would it be fair to say that you didn't see that with your own eyes?
No, that's where they were found.
But you didn't see it with your own eyes?
No, I couldn't. Sorry about that.
You also stated that a few of the people that were struck died instantly. Would that be fair to say?
That died instantly, you mean?
Yeah, you stated that a few people that were struck died instantly. Would that be fair to say?
Some of them, yeah.
And
2 were injured, and
how would you know for sure that they died instantly if you didn't see them struck?
because the police found 2 of them on the sidewalk, one on the left, one on the right. They were already dead.
So were you told by the police that they were dead?
That what?
Were you told by the police that they had passed away?
I could see they were working on them and weren't getting anywhere. They were trying to get the heart started with the heart machines. Nothing was working.
And you know that for sure?
I seen them working on them, yes. Not all of them, but on some of them.
So was it fair to say at that time that you had no medical diagnosis at that point in time?
Nobody gives nobody diagnosis. They just were working on them and trying to get them revived, but they couldn't do it.
So it would be fair to say at that time you had no knowledge of the injuries sustained?
No.
You stated that I believe it was a Kathy. Did you know a Kathy that was part of your group?
Yes, 2 Kathys.
You stated, I don't remember which one, but you stated that one of the Kathys had a sister or something.
Yes, on the sidewalk watching the parade.
Do you recall the sister's name?
No.
Are you sure it was a sister or maybe just a relative?
Could have been a sister or a relative. I figured it was a sister.
So it would be fair to say you didn't know for sure who it was.
That's an answer.
It was someone in the family.
You may answer. Go ahead, you may answer.
Okay, it was someone in her family that was trying to console her, but she was just standing there out of control, weeping. And
you stated that there was a music van or of some sort?
a music vehicle.
And you also stated that you couldn't hear what was going on behind you because the music van. Would that be fair to say?
That's right. I didn't hear anything. I'm just seeing a red streak when it came past me.
So would it be fair to say that if a vehicle was honking a horn, you wouldn't have heard it if it was behind you?
I don't know. No, there was no horns.
But you don't know for sure because you stated that the music was playing pretty loudly. Would that be fair to say?
That's for sure. But whether I would hear a horn or not, I don't know.
Were you able to see a license plate number of the vehicle?
No. I was just shocked that a vehicle would be in the parade route. I didn't have time to read a license plate.
And you stated that there's also a member of your group named Lola.
Named what?
Lola.
Lola, yes, it was her husband, Bill.
And she, to your knowledge, to your recollection, Lola was not injured?
No.
You spoke with knowledge of a lot of the injuries. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Have you yourself ever had any medical training of any kind?
No, my family is all in the medical field.
Have you yourself ever been
No.
in the medical field?
No.
Did you see anyone behind you struck?
No, because I was behind the music vehicle. I mean, in front of the music vehicle.
And you yourself weren't injured, right?
No. The car couldn't get at me because they would have to go through the car.
You stated that you went inside of a building at some point, or
Yes.
one of the businesses.
Yes.
And you stated that you couldn't stay in there because you wanted to see how bad everything was outside. Would that be fair to say?
Well, I was outside first, walking and seeing everybody, then watching them work on them. And the tavern was trying to comfort us by inviting us in for coffee or water, something to get us. But I couldn't stay in there. I had to be out there with them people.
Do you recall about how long you stayed in the tavern? I think you said it was before you went back out.
I would say between 5 minutes and 10.
So when were you informed by I guess I would say medical personnel of the injuries to your group?
When I seen them working on them, they had the heart machine on Ginny, and blood was pouring out of her mouth, and I knew she was gone. There was no doubt about it.
At any time during the incident, did medical personnel come to you and
No.
tell you injuries?
No, just the police came to me to know that where Lee was, because I was wondering where she was, and the police showed me her photo and said that she was gone.
At one point in your earlier testimony, you pointed to the defendant table and said, "That's him from the news." Any reason why you would say that?
From the news. I didn't say that.
You testified that you pointed to the defendant's table and said that's him from the news, and you were cut off right in mid-sentence.
I wasn't saying that at all.
So have you ever seen any news coverage of the incident?
From Lola, I knew that Bill had died during surgery that evening. And so I knew that from her because she was at the hospital with him. I knew about.
Ma'am, did you hear that question about seeing news reports, and just be a little more specific on the time?
I don't
Okay?
know what you mean about news reports.
Fair enough.
On the regular news, or
He'll rephrase.
Okay.
At any time, do you recall seeing any news reports related to the incident? At any time?
It was on the news. Yes.
So it'd be fair to say that you watched reports of the incident.
When it was on the regular news in the evening,
Was it?
They didn't cover much of it. They just showed that the dancing grannies, that.
Would it be fair to say you learned additional information that you didn't have when you were at the incident from the news?
Not from the news, I didn't know. I knew from the family.
So would it be fair to say that before you received information from the families, you weren't sure of the exact injuries to the grannies in your group?
Some of them I knew right away.
And
because of the police.
Did you know just from observation, or were you told?
I was pretty much told.
And from the videos that you saw here today, which you already stated it was your first time seeing any of those videos.
Yes.
Did you see anything in those videos today that you didn't see at the time of the incident?
Yeah, the people being hit and flying. Once the car was in front of me, that's when it left the bodies behind.
But you didn't actually see.
I couldn't. The car was in my way.
And do you recall who else was not injured from your group besides Lola?
The four of us were not injured.
Do you recall the names of who was not injured?
Kathy Z, Sharon Millard, me and Lola and Kathy. The other Kathy. There's two Kathys.
Both Kathys, to your knowledge, were not injured?
No, they weren't. We were all that was left standing.
Do you recall about what time you left the parade after the incident?
What do you mean after the incident?
Do you recall what time you left the parade?
That was when everybody was taken away. And I think then we were in the bar having a cup of coffee. And then I had to find a way home because the music vehicle had to stay there because it was a crime scene. So Kathy Z's family took her home, so they gave me a ride right away too.
And you don't recall about what time that was?
No.
That would be fair with everything else going on. At any time in the days following the incident, did you see any reports of a suspect at any time?
I seen it on the news that a suspect was taken or found, I should say.
And what are you referencing when you say found?
What was I what? Oh, found. In other words, the police found him. I didn't know who, where, or who he was at the time.
I don't recall if this question was asked, so I'm going to ask it. Were you there with any of your family members, immediate family or anything?
My immediate family members, just my husband. And he was driving the music vehicle.
Was he injured in any way?
No. Outside of being shot by what he was seeing.
Physical injury.
No,
did he suffer any
because he
physical?
was in the car.
Do you recall giving any police statement, or were you interviewed by any law enforcement after the incident?
Yes.
Do you recall if it was the same night of the incident or in the days following?
Both.
Both?
Right there at the time, and then the next day.
Did you ever file any claims related to the incident?
I believe not of the incident, no, because I was there when they were talking to the gals that weren't hurt. They were like interviewing us.
The four of you, correct? The four that were the
All
two
of
cats.
us, yeah, the ones that were left, yeah.
Do you know if they filed any claims related to the incident?
If what?
Do you know if they filed any claims related to the incident? Grounds. Grounds.
The way that he asked it is overruled. So you may answer if you know.
Okay, no, because we were all together and came to every interview that they needed from us.
Do you recall seeing or reading any complaints related to the incident? Grounds.
Sustained as to the form of the question. You don't have to answer that.
Okay.
Should I rephrase the question? Or?
It was sustained as to the form of the question.
At any time during any interviews with law enforcement, were you shown a complaint related to the incident?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
Were you informed that it may be a possibility that you might be called to testify in this matter?
A lot later, not at the time. I had no idea of testimony until.
Would you say much later, as you say, would that refer to weeks, months?
Months. I was in no shape at the time to testify or talk about anything.
Do you recall seeking to testify? Wanting to testify?
No, I didn't ask to. This just happened when we would be in our interviews and then.
So it would be fair to say that you were asked or
Yes.
subpoenaed?
Yes.
Do you recall by whom?
I imagine the DAs or.
When you say the DAs, do you mean the district attorney's office?
Yes.
Did they ever identify to you as being the plaintiff in this matter? Grounds.
Sustained. Next question.
Grounds for the substance, Your Honor.
Relevance grounds.
Do you recall ever being told that there was a plaintiff in this matter?
No, it's just, I was interviewed a few times, the 5 of us. And that was pretty much the end of it until months ago where.
I think probably a little explanation is needed. Are you aware what a plaintiff is?
Objection. Relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained. Next question.
Grounds for the substance, Your Honor.
Next question, Mr. Brooks.
Grounds for the substance, Your Honor.
Ask your next question, please.
I just want to know the grounds, just for the record, the grounds for the substance.
Ask your next question.
Your Honor, the grounds should be put on the record.
Ask your next question. I'll address this all at the next break outside the presence of the jury. Ask your next question.
Your Honor, with all respect, I think the jury
Mr. Brooks, under
deserves.
90611, ask your next question, or I will determine that the cross-examination is now closed.
I'm
Keep
gonna
going.
ask, I'm gonna keep going. I just think the jury deserves to hear.
Mr. Brooks, I'm instructing you to stop making those statements. The jury will disregard. This is the cross-examination. It's not your opportunity to make legal arguments or to testify. You'll have an opportunity if you so choose to do that later.
With all respect,
Next
that is not
question.
fine. The jury just deserves to know.
All right, under 90611, the cross-examination
I still
will be
have a question,
determined.
Your Honor.
Sir, you didn't follow my very clear instructions. Does the state have any follow-up?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You may
Objection
step
objection
down.
to that, Your Honor.
Your
I was
objection's
not-
noted. Ma'am, you
I
may
was
step
not-
down, and after she steps down, I will be excusing the jury for a few moments. Please rise for the witness and for the jury as they leave the courtroom.
I could first thank the court, you, Your Honor, and your staff for getting us here today. I don't know how you did. You kept us under 4 weeks, and this is all going to be wrapped up, before the first anniversary, and that means a lot. So I thank you for that. And if I could thank everybody at the prosecution table, our real-life Avengers. I mean, you guys did everything you could for us, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you. And I couldn't not thank Jen Dunn and her staff. I mean, she took all of us, supported us, made us into a family, and without them, I don't think I could have gotten through this trial. And Mr. Brooks, I hope as I read my statement, you continue to roll your eyes. I hope you continue to laugh and just show how bored and unmoved you are by all of this, because I think that's important. It's important for the world to see that evil can be a tangible, living, breathing thing. I think it's important for the world to see what human rot looks like. And to all the survivors, every time he puts his hand on that empty cavity where his heart should be, I hope you all smile, and I hope you take solace in the fact that today is our day. Today is for us. Today is so we can take our handful of dirt, throw it on his grave, and move on, because that's what we all need, and that's what we deserve. My name is Chris Owen, and I am the plaintiff. I'm here on behalf of another plaintiff, my mother, Leanna Joy Owen. Lee Owen was a mother, a grandmother, a best friend, an apartment manager, and a dancing granny. The reason none of the witnesses saw her in this courtroom is because she was executed by a child-killing sex offender. And we are both injured parties. My whole family is an injured party. To my kids, Lee Owen was Nanny. And Nanny spoiled her grandkids every chance she got. On every birthday, she would call and sing happy birthday to their voicemail so they could hear it the first thing in the morning. She went on a tour of my son's summer camp. She danced in the same parades as my youngest daughter. She wanted my oldest daughter to use her car to learn how to drive so she could teach her like she taught me. And all of that has been ripped away. But the defendant's conscience is clear. To my dad, Lee Owen was the love of his life. They met when she was 16, and he taught her how to drive. From that point on, they stayed in each other's lives. And even though they divorced, she was still his best friend. They spent a lot of time together, and she was the only one who could get him out of the house. Now my dad has nightmares of her body flying through the air and shattering against concrete. But Mr. Brooks' conscience is clear. To my brother and I, Lee Owen was our mother. A mother who, even when she was struggling, was always there for us. She was supportive of us. She always told us how proud she was of us. Growing up, all my friends and my brother's friends knew they were welcomed at our house. When they were in trouble, having problems at home, or just had to get away, she always let them stay as long as they needed to. And for years, every time I came home from the Marine Corps, she got all those same friends together so I could see everybody and spend time with them. She was the one that made sure everyone got their Christmas list out on time. She made the best eggnog I ever had. And she made my grandma's mac and cheese whenever we were together. She recently renewed her passport so she could visit my wife and I in Turkey and travel the world with us. She also couldn't wait to visit Machu Picchu with my brother. It was her dream trip. Out of all the places in the world, that was the one place she had to visit before she died. And now the best we can do is lay her ashes there. But Darrell Brooks' conscience is clear. And I believe him. Out of everything he said in this courtroom, I believe that is the one truth he told. I mean, how else could he make a witness look at each of his battered friends that he ran over and ask, how do you know who this is? Throughout her life, Lee Owen was a hardworking woman. That's why when she found herself on hard times, she was able to overcome them. Even though it took years, she dug herself out of a deep financial hole so she could live the life she wanted, the life she deserved. And she was in the middle of doing just that on the evening of November 21st, 2021. And I know this is corny and cliche to say, but Lee Owen wasn't 71 years old. She was 71 years young. She was one of the most active people I knew. She just didn't have it in her to sit still. She always had to be moving or doing something, and this often involved people. She was very social and loved being around those she cared about, and people loved her back. She had a knack for making you feel good about yourself without even trying, because she always found the good in people. Even when it was to her detriment, it never dissuaded her from helping people any way she could, without judgment, without demand for repayment or feeling she was owed anything. She did it because she knew it was the right thing to do, and it made her feel good. She accepted people for who they were and made people feel good about themselves. That is what the world lost, and you have the audacity to tell this court that your conscience is clear. I'm sorry, Mr. Brooks. There's not a human with a soul on this planet who could snuff that light out, who could steal Lee Owen from this world and have a clear conscience. And that is why you hear the term monster. That is why you hear the term demon. You know, I saw you that day. It was just after you ran over the Catholics. I saw you hanging out of the window, looking back with a smile of satisfaction on your face, laughing at an inside joke that at the time I didn't get, the punchline escaping me. I didn't get it when my mom didn't respond to my texts. I didn't get it when she didn't answer my phone calls. I didn't get it the first couple hours my brother spent looking for her. I didn't get it until my wife sent me a video of you running over children in the parade. That's when I got the punchline. And it hit me like the red SUV, Mr. Brooks. I saw a pure, unrepentant evil in your face that day, and it disgusts me that you are allowed to exist. And I know the answer to the question that everyone keeps asking. I know why you did this. You did this simply because you were not in a cage. That is what I find mind-boggling. And how dare anyone say the system failed him? The system failed every one of us whose only mistake was to bring their families in the vicinity of Mr. Brooks. That poor excuse for a man should not have been on the streets. That is the failure, period. But enough about him, because today is not about him. It's about us and what we lost. I lost my mom, Lee Owen, and I wasn't always a good son. I could be selfish sometimes. I could be mean. But no matter how angry or standoffish I got, she would bend over backwards for me, even when I didn't deserve it. And now I can never tell her I'm sorry. I can never tell her I should have been more grateful. I can never tell her how much I need her in my life. Yeah, shake your head. Shake your head. You know, because that is what you took from me. And there's nothing this court can do that would provide justice in my eyes. So all I ask is that you rot, and you rot slow.
Whew. Yeah. That was Lee's son. God bless him. The following is an audio interview between law enforcement and those who witnessed the tragic incident at the 2021 Waukesha Christmas Parade when Darrell E. Brooks drove his mother's red Ford Escape through the parade. 6 people lost their lives that day, more than 70 sustained injuries, and the numbers of those emotionally traumatized is beyond the hundreds. Viewer discretion is advised.
Today is Tuesday, November 23rd. The time is now 1:32 p.m. My name is Agent Ray Gibbs. I am currently now at 8 in Franklin, Wisconsin, and I'm going to be interviewing Kathy. Hi, I'm looking for Kathy.
Thank you. Come on in.
Great. Thanks.
Sorry to be in your way.
Quite all right. I can leave this open for you if you
Kathy,
want.
should I just close the door on my way out? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, sorry about that.
Quite all right. Okay. Just let me know when you're set, and we'll.
Okay.
This shouldn't take super long. I don't think. I don't want to be in your hair for too long.
All right. I had done a little diagram in my mind just to process this and where everybody was during the parade. This was our lineup. We had 9 grannies, so we did 2 as, together as partners, and then 1 in the middle, and then 2 again and 1 in the middle. This is me and my partner who was killed.
Okay.
And then the gal was alone behind me. This is our van with the music playing.
Okay.
Who follows behind us. This was our volunteer, Bill, who was also killed. He was the husband of this granny who was, okay, I remember seeing her fall to the ground. But anyway, the car came this way, then hit this gal, this one, and then swerved to the left and hit these 2.
Okay.
No, he could have gone straight. There was nobody in the, you know what I'm saying?
So, and let me ask you this now, because you bring up a very important point. At any point, did you hear any horns honking, or was he trying to honk the horn to get you out of the way or anything?
No.
So this is the whole street.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
so
our little area.
yeah. So, but this is all part of the street. So he's driving up this way.
Yes.
And he
must have clipped Bill first.
Okay, so he hits Bill, and then that's when he turns into Tammy and T. Turns right and goes forward into Betty.
Well, Betty would have been right in front of
Okay.
T.
So it probably hit both of those.
Yeah, and
then he turns
to
left.
the left. And I think these 2 died instantly.
Okay.
I mean, there was just
So he
blood
turned
all
left
over
into them.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you're here, which is kind of towards the back left of your formation, right? And do you remember whereabouts, location-wise, you were? Were you, near People's Pub or Nice Ash? Or
Afterwards, we went inside because the police told us to get off the street, a possible active shooter.
Okay.
I don't know if they just wanted people off the street and told them that, or if that was actually true.
Well, did you hear any shots?
I did not.
Okay.
But we went into a bar called Guinness.
Guinness. Okay.
Maybe it's got another name in front of it or something, but Guinness was
It's not 5
part
Points.
of the name.
Not 5 Points, the Irish bar.
No.
Okay.
Because I asked what the name of the place was, and
Guinness.
I just remember Irish, and then this morning I thought of the name, which I'm pretty sure was Guinness.
Okay, cool. All right, so then you guys ran in there. And I know I asked you before about, so as you guys are walking this way, you don't hear any horns or any attempt of...
No.
Okay. Did you hear an engine revving as he went by, or?
No, and that's the bad part for me. I saw the car, out of the corner of my eye on the right, and I'm thinking, is this part of the parade or what's going on? And I cannot picture the car actually in front of me. I know that it's a huge car, but I just can't picture it. I could see the people falling, and I saw these 2 fall. I saw Lola fall, although like I said, she's okay. But I just can't picture the vehicle, and I don't know if my brain is blocking this out or what. But I did see it on the right side. And then now my partner, Tammy, we couldn't find after all this chaos. And we said, what happened to Tammy? We thought, oh, maybe she went home with so-and-so. And I think what happened is that she got flipped onto the top of the car and then ended up behind us. And perhaps those people took care of her.
Okay.
I had heard that they got her in an ambulance, and then she died at the hospital later that night.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a brand new granny. That's her first parade. She was so excited. And
so, and I'm going to take a picture of this if you don't mind, if you need to keep this.
Or you could take it. I mean,
Okay.
I can redo it
All right,
in
cool.
my mind. I know who was who. And,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So in the front here, you got the banner. So Allie
Right.
and Ginny are carrying the banner in the front.
Right.
And in the back, you got it's a van, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you got the van in the back.
It's our music van.
Laura's right in the front there, and then Tammy's in the right. You're on her left. T is in the middle part there, and Lola and Kathy, and then Betty's in the middle, and then Lee and Sharon are also partners up in front behind the banner, and then Bill was on the right side.
Yeah.
So did you see Bill get hit or go down?
No.
Okay. But you did see Tammy go down? You didn't see Tammy go down?
She was,
either?
on the right of me.
Yeah.
I saw T go down.
Okay.
And I just figured Tammy's
And-
okay. See, when we do our parade, we're kind of like watching our palms too.
Yeah.
At certain points, so we're not looking up all the time.
Yeah.
And I think we were like starting our fourth song. So we were looking straight ahead. I really wasn't kind of paying attention to my partner at that point. And she wasn't on the ground.
Okay.
Like I said, after all this chaos and I'm sorry, sends shivers through me.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to have to make you go through this.
No, I know. I've been talking on the phone nonstop yesterday, texting, emailing, and I was so emotionally drained last night that I finally was able to sleep. Sunday I didn't sleep at all, Sunday night, and so, like I said, I've been going through this a lot with telling people.
Yeah. Okay. So, and so you see about the place, you see the car at the corner of your eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember a color or anything?
Red.
It was red.
Red.
Okay, and
Red and black.
fairly large, or could you tell?
Yes, to the side of me when
Okay.
it was still like on the road, going straight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it's going straight. About.
But see, then we're moving too. We're going forward.
Yeah, so you're going forward. Okay.
He maybe had time to clip her,
Okay. So by the time you see the car, you don't see Tammy anymore.
No.
Okay. And then do you actually see the car hit T?
See, that's what I'm blocking out. It was
Okay.
right in front of me. I was here.
So you see the car kind of pass you on your right,
Yes, when it was still like on the road.
going in T's direction?
Well, yes. Well, it had to come this way first.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see.
Yeah. But by the time you see it, it's going towards T, but you don't actually see it hit T.
No.
Okay.
I'm just blocking that out for some reason. I mean,
And did you see T go down?
yes.
What happened to her?
I rushed over to her first, and she was conscious. And she told somebody there that she was having trouble breathing. People from the sidelines came out. They brought blankets. And I don't know if the guy with her had medical no, that wasn't the one. But anyway, they just told her not to move. And she is now home from the hospital.
Okay, good.
Got a message from her, and I texted her today. So she had broken ribs, a broken wrist, and I don't know if it's a broken leg, but something with her leg, and bumps and bruises.
All right. So you see T go down, and then do you see Betty go down?
I did not see Betty go down, maybe because I don't know, but I went over to her.
Okay, but Betty was on the ground.
Yes, and she's the one with the brain injury.
Okay.
Whoever was with her may have had the medical experience because he said she had passed out for about 5 minutes. When I got there, she was coming to, and she said, I have a headache.
Oh.
And he said, she's got a skull fracture. So he kind of maybe knew.
Yeah. Okay.
And then from there, I was walking over to Ginny.
Okay.
And some of the other grannies who were there said, don't go over there, Kathy, don't go over there. So I kind of glanced, and there was just blood all over the road.
By Lee?
Ginny.
Or by Ginny?
And Lee, we heard, flew into like a doorway or something, and we don't know if she got medical help right away or if anyone was there for her. That's sad.
Yeah.
And she's a little tiny thing.
So, you didn't see Tammy go down.
No.
You did
she
see
disappeared.
T go down.
Yes.
You didn't see Betty go down, but you did see her on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
As you kept moving forward up this little map, you didn't see Lee.
No.
And you were going towards Ginny, and someone said, "Stop!
Yeah,
Don't go there."
probably was. And then they were doing CPR or, pumping her chest.
Okay, and Ginny, did you see that it was Ginny that they were doing CPR on?
No, I didn't see her face or anything, but we
You
just
saw someone
knew.
in the position here on the map where Ginny is located that they were doing CPR on.
Mhm.
Okay.
I
Do you have the last names of these gals?
Sure. Laura Thein, Thein.
EIN?
IEN or EIN?
She's from Cudahy, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you at her house?
No, one of my partners
Somebody?
was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thein.
Okay. And Tammy's last name?
Durand, Durand.
And Bill's?
Let me think. Hospel.
Okay. And then you have T.
Mm-hmm.
What's...
I gotta find her and spell it.
Okay.
It's ROSEN TRETER. And she lives in Waukesha, not far. We were at the start of the parade, and she said, "That's where I live." So she's on that river walk or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Right off the Fox River there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Kathy S. is...
SCHMELING. Schmeling.
Okay. And Lola?
Same as Bill. Hospital. HOSPEL.
And Betty?
Strang. STRANG.
Okay, and Sharon?
Is it Millard? MILLARD.
Okay, I think we talked to her yesterday.
Yeah,
And
she and someone else came in.
yeah,
Lee Owen.
Oh, Lee. I keep saying...
I'm sorry,
Put an
I
L
read
there.
Lee Owen.
Okay, and Allie...
I'm not sure. She's a little gal about 13, 14 years old. I don't know if I have her last name in here.
Okay. And Ginny?
Sorensen. SORENSEN, I think.
Okay, cool.
I don't have Allie's last name.
And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to cross-check with Waukesha PD just to make sure that they have all these names and that everyone's been talked to and that is available to be taught to. How long have you been with the Dancing Grannies? It's the Dance Grannies, right?
Milwaukee Dancing Grannies.
Okay.
MDG, Milwaukee Dancing Grannies. Since 2017, probably June of 2017.
Although not citizens of New York City will be allowed to vote in local elections. New York City's Mayor Bill de Blasio, who has expressed doubts about the bill's legality, says he will not veto it. But even if he did,
So while you were still on the street here and you're marching and everything, did you hear the crowd or anyone screaming, "Look out," or? And how loud is the music in your?
Pretty loud.
Pretty loud. So it's gonna be hard to hear stuff, right?
Yeah. Plus, at that point, we were still dancing, and the crowd is, cheering and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
And you had mentioned something at the beginning of our conversation that I found was interesting. So you were saying that as the vehicle passed you, it could have went straight. And if it would have continued straight, would it have hit anyone?
From where? From this point?
Yeah, because you were saying at some point that it looked like it turned into people.
Yeah, it must have, because if it went straight after hitting Tammy, it would have gone that way. Also, as it went this way and straight, I mean, it could have gone straight and avoided, these four people.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it didn't hit these two, but it looks like intentionally. I mean, yeah.
So, from what you saw, what you were able to see, did you actually see it veer?
Again, the
Or is it more of a kind of just from
the
it's
people.
from the carnage that he left behind? You're kind of putting that together. Okay. Okay. Have you seen any videos online or anything?
On TV, yeah.
And now everything that you're telling me that you saw is what you actually saw, not
No,
what's
not the Grannies. I don't remember seeing them hit the Grannies. Any video of that?
All right.
The marching band.
Yeah. So like everything you're telling me though is what you saw, heard, and felt. It's not anything. Okay. And no time did you hear any horns or anything. All right.
No.
Is there anything else you remember that I haven't brought up or asked?
Is there any way to find out exactly what happened to her? Was she on top of the car, or?
At some point that's going to come out.
I mean, I'm just.
Yeah, because we're
concerned.
Yeah, you know.
Just not knowing.
Yeah.
And was she actually put in an ambulance? And
yeah.
Her parents came looking for her later, and we couldn't tell them anything.
How old is Tammy?
52.
Okay. Yeah,
Long blonde hair.
Yeah. We'll, you know, someone will know, and if you give us some time, I mean, right now it's an overturned beehive over there. I mean, it's nuts. But as the days turn into weeks, it's going to take a while. There's hundreds of witnesses that, like you, that we're tracking down, and that. Now you didn't receive any injuries or anything, obviously, right? Okay.
And then you wonder why. Why was I spared?
Well,
and even our coach ahead of time, before the parade started, Tammy was kind of a new addition because she didn't think she could come to the parade, and then at the last minute she said, I'll be there. She had been in Florida and got an earlier flight and first parade anyway. So she showed up, and our coach said to me, do you want to be alone in the slot here, or do you want to be partnered with Tammy? And I said, I'll go with Tammy. And she said, do you want the left or the right side? And I said, left. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And that just...
Well, if I can, at the risk of sounding like I'm giving you advice, because I'm not, all right? I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. I'm certainly not a mental health expert, but I can tell you that you can think about it, and you should for a little while, and you should explore it a little bit. But at a certain point, you got to put it away, because there's, no matter what you believe, if you believe in you know, Allah, Jesus, you know, Yahweh,
God's
whoever.
plan.
Yes. There's a plan or there's not. Either way, it's, someday we'll know. Yeah, it'll be when it comes to accounting, you know. And until then, we just, you know, I was telling my wife today, there's some of our friends at the gym are, you know, we're there. And, you know, she was talking to them, and they're having trouble with it. And I kind of told her and, you know, some of the people at the gym today, I said, you know, it's too soon to start trying to feel good. It's too soon to put it behind you. We don't want to yet, you know. But there's going to come a day where you got to put it away.
And not feel guilty or...
No, because, you know, it's not like you chickened out. You know, it's not like you know, you took left instead of right. You're more comfortable on the left, or whatever. You know,
well, I like that spot because when we go around corners, that's like fewer steps. The other person has to go.
Well, yeah, it's like when you're marching, it's the same thing. Yeah, you guys are essentially dance marching. So.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I
always try to be on the left if I can.
Yeah. So obviously, you have a somewhat of a support system, it sounds like, just with the other dancing grannies, and you know, with some of the other people, you know, obviously when I come here, and but if you have any issues, I would not hesitate to reach out to someone. Don't feel like you're the Lone Ranger, and don't feel like it's abnormal, because it's not. It's a traumatic thing. You're going to go through some stuff.
I just felt kind of numb after we all had to go in the bar. It's like, what just happened? You know what?
Well, and it's amazing what adrenaline will do. Adrenaline goes up, you don't feel anything, and then it's later where you're like, oh, you know, must have walked through a barbed wire fence, you know. So.
And even this gal, Jenny, she's our instructor. She doesn't dance anymore, because she's got a bad hip and I don't know, back or something, but she's still our, leader and choreographer. And she filled in that day for someone else who couldn't make it. See,
Yep.
so that's another
Well, yeah.
situation.
Like I say, I have no answers. I'm not going to pretend I do, but
And there was a phone number on TV to call for counseling. I should have written it down, but anyway, I might do that and
I'm
just
sure
talk to someone. And
if you're having issues and that number doesn't come back up, call the city of Waukesha. I'm sure they'll have information for you. And also bear in mind too that if your insurance may cover it anyway, to where you may want to just ask around and see if there's someone around that people like, and you can do it that way. I mean, I'd check into that. I'm not giving you any insurance advice, definitely, but there's you don't have to suffer alone, and you shouldn't, unless you want to. So, I mean,
or even church.
exactly. You have clearly some faith, and that's a powerful thing. So, you have my number in your phone because I blew you up between yesterday and today.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm sorry for bothering you.
Are you the
It's
Hills
just,
Corners number?
yeah, the 458-8783.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
458.
I always forget my cards. I'm so sorry. 458-8783.
8783.
Area code 414.
Cliff?
No, Ray Gibbs.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, if I didn't ask you something that all of a sudden you remember more or whatever, feel free to give me a call. And then I'll if I just leave a message, because I will get back to you. Okay.
Yeah, just the one thing that's puzzling me is my partner on the right foot. But then that's all we could figure out. And then oh, sorry. Did you want this?
Yeah, please. I was gonna say, and that's.
What did I write here? Aurora Summit leading to. Okay, that was my notes about the other gal with the brain injury. So that's okay.
Do you need it?
Let me just jot some stuff down and share it with the other group. Okay.
I can take a picture of the map too if you want.
I don't know if that'd be very clear. I don't, really need it.
Okay.
Just some notes that I could share with some of the other. Okay. Yeah, so this is the one with the head injury.
Yeah.
They said now she's moving her arms and legs and she's coherent. She knows people. She knows the date, and so that's a good sign.
That's very good.
She still has some internal bleeding, and they may need to do more surgery. Okay, this will be enough to.
You sure?
Remind me, yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's a long drive back to Waukesha. Would it be okay if I use your facility?
Oh, sure. Why don't you
promise not
go
to.
in here? Or that one's fine too.
Mess or
Either one.
anything. Beautiful house, by the way.
Oh my.
Oh wow, nice bathroom.
Please keep the victims and witnesses in your thoughts and prayers. I have included a link to the Waukesha Community Foundation Fund if you would like to learn how you can support the victims impacted by this tragedy. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day.